Guys, my name's Steven. I'm one of the staff educators with Northwood. Today we're going to be discussing the donning and doffing of PPE, personal protective equipment. There's a couple things we just want to remind you. Obviously, the application of this PPE never takes away the fact that you need to hand sanitize or wash your hands. We have Barb, RN, with us today. She's going to be demonstrating. Thanks for being here, Barb. Something also that we want to point out is Barb has removed all of her big jewelry, so any kind of diamonds, stuff like that, that could potentially pick up germs. It's probably best at this point to keep that stuff at home because it could put you at risk. Barb does still have a small band on, but she's making sure that hand hygiene is very well done. So what we're going to do is, now that all the items are on a clean table and all gathered together, Barb's going to go to step one, which is going to be washing her hands. So in this case, we're using hand sanitizer. And once those are clean, she's going to do the process of putting on the gown. Some things Barb's going to do, she's going to make sure that the gown is secured tightly at her neck and at her waist. Ideally, you would tie at the back of the waist, just because the gown is considered cleaner in the back. However, if you do have a smaller frame, you may tie in the front. And Barb will be tying in the front for this demonstration. So she's tied very tightly at the top, so you can see that her entire uniform or outfit is covered. She's tied in the front, and she's going to pull the gown closed together in the back. And Barb is not rolling up the sleeves. That's important to note, never roll up the sleeves. So the next step would be for her to apply the mask. She's going to either slip straps over her ears, or some systems would have ties, and in this case it's just over the ears. But if you did have a tie system, you would tie it at the back of the head. Once that's on, she's going to pinch at the nose to form a better seal, and she's going to fit the mask onto her face appropriately. Great. So then the next step would be to apply the eye protection. You're going to keep the mask as it is on your face and simply put the eye protection over it. It's important to note, Barb in this case does wear her own glasses, and your own glasses are never considered PPE equipment. You must apply the eye protection over them. The next step would be to apply the gloves. And once the gloves are on, you're going to ensure that the cuffs of the gloves go over the cuffs of the gown. Perfect. Now you would be considered to be protected and can continue with care or interaction. Once you no longer need the PPE equipment, it's important to remove it in a safe order to prevent you from getting contaminated. You would always remove from the dirtiest to the cleanest. So what that means is you would remove the gloves first, but please note, if you've tied your gown in the front, as Barb has, you would undo the waist of the gown first. For those that tied in the back, you would do that at a later step. Okay, so now what Barb is going to do is she's going to take one gloved hand and catch the outside of the cuff of the other glove. She's going to pull it off gently to remove the glove from the hand without contaminating the other hand, and as you can see, she drops into the bin. Then, with the ungloved hand, she would take her index finger and gently slide that under the cuff on the inside of the remaining glove and remove it so that now both hands are bare, and finally she puts that into the bin. So now theoretically your hands are clean, you haven't contaminated your hands with the removal of the gloves, but at this point it's still important to do hand hygiene before moving on to the next step. Once this is done, you're going to remove the gown. First, undo the back of the neck. And for those that tied in the back, now you would untie the back of the waist. And you can see she's grabbing from the shoulders on the inside, and she's rolling the inside to the outside. So basically she's taking the clean part of the gown and rolling it outward so that she's only handling clean parts of the gown. And then she's going to put in the waste bin. Now she's going to perform hand hygiene. Again, theoretically, everything should be clean, but this is an important step as a just-in-case scenario. Next, we're going to remove eyewear. She's going to grab from the back or the sides, as they would be the cleanest area. And the final step, she's going to remove the mask. Again, grabbing from the back or sides as it's cleaner. And she will place that in the garbage receptacle. And of course, now that all the PPE is off, you would do the one final hand hygiene. Another couple of things to remember: never touch your face while you have the gloves on. And then finally, Barb and I and all of Northwood want to thank you guys for being out there in the community. It's amazing what you're doing. You're keeping us all together, and you're definitely living up to the values of Northwood. So thank you so much, and please be safe.
Thank you.